Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This is that Sigma Hardcore Awakening run, so that means there's 4 players in this game, and I'm beating it by myself. This is pretty sweet. I managed to get this first try, although actually there's only 3 players in the game right now. I initially intended this for this just to be a 3-player run, but before I started the first Obelisk, my friend joined in, turning it into a 4-player run, which was super nice because then you don't have to stare at like the split screen for the entire game, so I think that makes it a lot more watchable. So we start out with the classic Awakening setup by just getting all these side areas done real quick, and of course this Rhino is just tearing my shit up because he has so much HP, because he's on the 3-player amount of HP, which I think is double. That's going to be a very common theme throughout this game, is enemies just tanking a ton of bullets. And then I managed to get the perfect side area right there. Got both the Venom and the Sticky Flares. And this next one was the Arc. So the Mammoth, there's no chance I would have been able to kill that Mammoth with my guns. He would have like took my ass to Pound Town. But I can use this electric trap here. And once he gets in it, he should go down in a certain amount of hits. I don't know exactly how many, but it's not many. He's gone. That's probably the best way to kill Mammoths early game, is just use that electric trap there with a Riot Shield. So in between that cut and this one, I managed to craft the Venom and 2 sets of Sticky Flares. I'm just killing him now just to open this side area up. I could have saved him for later. Also, if I'm trying something different this time, and I'm recording the audio in or like directly on the PS5 Share Factory, so I can't hear the game right now, so I'm just talking over silence. So if it gets a little weird because of that, sorry. But again, this electric trap is going absolutely beast mode on this 3-player Mammoth. No problem at all. That trap's insane. And then here's where my friend joined in, and we're about to start it up. He's gonna jump off the map. Then we're gonna get to business. So, a lot of challenges that you get are just straight up impossible when you do this like Sigma Hardcore thing, because it'll be stuff like get 8 kills with every player like damaging the enemies, or get 25 kills while everyone is prone, stuff that involves like everyone participating. So the skill points you get are really limited, so it's really important to make sure you get these easy early challenges done. And yeah, I'm already starting to get torn up a little bit by like the bombers and the gargoyles. And this is an annoying thing about the gargoyle. The gargoyles in this difficulty, they don't die to 2 venom shots. Like in regular solo, they die to 1. In this, they take 3. Or 2 venom shots plus like a couple bullets. The phantoms do as well, so you can't just cheese the gargoyles with 1 well-placed venom shot. You have to hit them multiple times, and then even then, that's probably not enough. And you can see these scouts are really tearing the drill up, because on this map they don't have to hop on the drill in order to damage it, so multiple enemies can be hitting it at once, so it can go down really fast. And that's going to be another issue that we face throughout the entire game, is just the drill just getting owned every second of the hive. I think we started to get like a hunter or 2. Yep. Hard to tell because I'm maxed out on money from all these kills. So actually, I figured out how to like get the Riot Shield to not like move around in your loadout and like mess your weapon rotation up. And the strat is you just buy it as soon as you can, like right off spawn, and then just make sure that the Riot Shield is up whenever, or you just want it to be up like for the entire game basically, but especially whenever you acquire a new weapon. If you acquire a new gun or like a Venom X or a new weapon slot while the riot shield is destroyed, it will like destroy your weapon loadout. So here I am rebuying it. I probably should have rebought it earlier, but yeah. This is another easy challenge that I need to make sure I capitalize on. And of course, going into this little tunnel here spawned bombers, which, you know, it's not ideal. I like to save the tunnels for when you get like the kill flying enemies challenge, so you can force the game to spawn a couple bombers in for you. Again, I can't actually hear the game from where I'm talking, so I would like to be listening for like the audio cues of the gargoyle shooting, so I could like tell when, you know, you need to take cover, but we'll make it work. So my upgrade strategy for this game is you really only need like 6 points to get this thing, to get this loadout to just about its like maximum potential, which is pretty sick because again, you don't get many points in this little game mode here. The upgrade strat, I like to put 1 point into the classes, which are weapon specialist and medic, so that I get the like the quick box and stuff, fast movement speed. It's a pretty nice upgrade to start with. And then I put I think I put 1 into armor. Either 1 into armor or 1 into ammo is fine for the next point. Or well, I guess like the next 2 points is just 1 into armor, then 1 into ammo. Then I put 1 more into armor because +2 armor is +2 armor is usually like just sufficient for whatever you need. And then after that, you get the weapon specialist up to +3, so that you get your speed reload. And then after that point, the upgrades don't really matter too much. I just max out armor, and then maybe put 1 point into ammo, 1 point into pistol, but by that time you're probably running out of points. There's always so many enemies after the hives in this game mode too, because you just gotta clean up so many of them. Alright. This would be a good challenge to if you're struggling to find enemies that were in the air, just run into one of those tunnels and spawn like the 3 bombers, so that you can just get a really easy, you know, couple kills for the air challenge. But you know, there's gonna be enough enemies that are in the air that I didn't really worry about it on this one. Here I am trying to pick up that last kill, and I think, yep, I got it right there. I managed to hit that gargoyle twice with the venom shot, but you can see he's still alive. It takes a couple of shots from the K7 before he goes down. I think if you hit him twice with both shots, like doing the entire course of damage, like the full, like all of the damage over time pulses, I think it leaves him like with just a couple of shots of health left. But that still is, you know, not dead, which sucks. Oh yeah, one other random thing I remember from doing this run is it's kind of hard to pick Venoms up directly off the drill when it needs to get repaired, because the prompts are kind of in the way, and that messes me up a little bit. When I was doing this run, I fully expected to die on this hive, like probably right there, but managed to get by. I remember I didn't hear that rhino spawn. It was just he just like pushed me around, and then I noticed. I feel like the rhinos give you more knockback on multiplayer. And look at that, it drills at 4 HP, 2. Yep, easy clap. God, that one was close. Those hunters do so much damage to the drill, it's crazy. Man, I wish I could hear the game right now. I think there's 2 gargoyles left alive right now that I have to clean up. Yeah, the other one's going through the tunnel. Again, I'm leaving the Venom X in that in the 0-2 state. So like empty mag 2 in the reserve, so that I can pick up 1 venom shot and then refill my ammo all the way to the max. And then with that challenge, I just decided I was gonna fail it because I wasn't gonna try to get that and then die. So I just accepted defeat on that one real early. Yeah, there's 2 venom shots, and that's not gonna kill him, but it'll get him low. And I think when I kill this gargoyle, I think that's gonna spawn a phantom. That was kind of close. Yeah, there's the phantom. And phantoms and gargoyles have the same HP, so it'll take the same amount of venoms to kill a phantom in this. In solo, normally you can just hit a phantom with 1 venom shot, and then the damage over time will kill him, but not in this. Throw a sticky flare there, just to see if I can make it through this hive. Because there's going to be a rhino coming out and want to be ready for it. There should be a rhino coming out right about now. Oh, there he is. Oh, yep, there he is. But the drill at this point has enough health that I'm cool with just running away. Getting to a more clear spot on the map to finish all of these enemies off. It would really suck dying to the enemies that, like, after the hive, so saw the Venom X 0-2 strats in action a few times there. And the gargoyles are still coming. So I think I cut the video here again because I wait for the, oh, we gotta kill another gargoyle. I wait for the weapon specialist to recharge, and look at this kill. Got him midair. Yeah, I wait for the weapon specialist ability to recharge so I can have it stored up right at the beginning of the hive. At least I think I do in a sec here. Yep, here we go. And there it is. Alright. Here's the Flying Aliens challenge, and I remember just barely getting this challenge, actually. Starting by clearing out all those plants so that they can't gas me up when I'm trying to, like, run somewhere. It's a lot of scorpions. It's kind of scary. Oh, and you got the gargoyle too. Yeah, that was close. Yeah, when it gets really like really fast paced like this and you're trying to kill bombers, I honestly like to just use the Venom X so that you don't have to worry about, you know, placing like the perfect shot and the cryptid slayer ammo like being all fucky wucky and like not registering shots against bombers and stuff. I just like to say fuck it and hit the Venom X. I think the gargoyle dodging it too. Now I'm out of money. That's not a great place to be. Yeah, I throw a sticky flare because I didn't have any money and the medic ability wasn't up, so I just hit that for when the rhino comes out right there. So I popped the weapon specialist here to kill the rhino, but while I'm shooting him I transition over to getting the bombers so that I can finish this challenge off, and I just barely managed to finish it right there. Yeah, that one got tight. This first area is probably like the hardest part of doing like these type of challenge runs on Awakening. The third area kind of picks back up too. The second area is usually not that bad. But I have to clear out a bunch of enemies, so... I think the rhino's still up at this point. Can't hear him if he is though, because of the no audio in this share factory. Watch, there is a way to like hear the audio when you're recording the voice, and I'm just stupid and I'm not finding it. Yeah, there's that rhino. And he's done. So with this with this part here, I know I need to just take these things out before it starts spawning just infinite gargoyles in. So try to get as many as I can, as many of the obelisks as I can in this first round of the Vanguard. And I think I end up getting like all but 2. I clean one more up with like the second run of the Vanguard, and then the last one I just get it with the Venom X. I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, the bombers are doing like 45 damage each, which is pretty gnarly, and I think I got finished off by like a scout there or something. Someone was on the mushroom. Yeah, I go in to weaken it a little bit with the Venom. The Venom does a ton of damage to the obelisks. I think there's like some crazy damage multiplier, because the amount of damage it does like does not even remotely make sense in killing obelisk with like 6 Venom shots. Trying to squeak this one out before the bombers get me, and I just barely managed to get it. So I know I've got 6 shots in the Venom, so I just so I know I can finish this last obelisk off entirely with the Venom X, which is pretty sick. Yeah, 2 shots turns it to yellow, 2 more to red, 2 more to dead. And we're gonna jump cut to the first obelisk in the second area pretty soon here, as I spend some time like crafting sticky flares, and we don't need to see that.
Nice work, Sid.
Here we are. And yeah, this is one of those impossible challenges. I feel like in this area, the obelisks on this side of the map, like inside the cave, are easier than the ones on the outside because you have the gargoyles. They just like bother you a little less in here than they do out there. So I decided to do all of these obelisks on this side of the map first in hopes that I can get the weapon specialist speed reload before, or just get that +3 upgrade for the speed reload and the scorpion gas immunity before I have to go do the harder obelisks on the other side of the map. And those scorpions just tore my ass up. I try to get this venom ammo and I get cock blocked by the search box and it disappears. That was sad. It's okay because I was at full. Or maybe I did actually pick it up and I just didn't realize because it didn't play the sound effect or something. I don't know. You do have to deal with gargoyles a little bit. Occasionally one of them just gets right up there in the middle of the room. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the riot shield up as much as possible, but sometimes I forget. I think that's the second venom shot on the gargoyle. I guess it was the third. Oh no, I just killed something else worth 500. Here's the rhino. This part got a little sketchy. You can see the drill's about to die, so I can't just focus the rhino down. I have to keep an eye on the drill too, but there wasn't much time left, so it wasn't that bad. That's a lot of enemies to just clean up after the hive, but I went in for the knife. I thought he was almost dead, but he had a bit more health than I expected. I was expecting these gargoyles, like when you kill them, to spawn phantoms like above the map. That usually happens in solo, but I guess it didn't happen here. I'm like looking for the phantoms, but they just weren't there. So I go ahead and do the other obelisk that's hidden within the caves right here. And I think I get this challenge. I think this is prone kills. Yeah. So this isn't that bad of a challenge. And one that you can actually get. So pick this one up real quick. Yeah, there's that venom on the bombers to make them a little easier to kill. And of course I have to move out of the scorpion gas because I don't have the +3 yet. And look at that, he phantom tanked the entire K7 mag. It's pretty beefy. So here I think I go for a drill repair, and I almost get it, but I actually don't. It kind of sucked. trying to pick up that venom ammo and the prompt's getting in the way, but here we go. These drill repairs are so slow in the 4-player. Yeah, I let go of the prompt just a little early. I didn't quite get it. It was sad. Got to make sure that there's always a venom on the drill whenever hunters are near it, so that they can't really get in there, and it worked out. Managed to get this rhino like stuck on like the Vanguard and the Obelisk and stuff. Made him pretty easy to take out. Of course I gotta kill all of these gargoyles, and then I think that's everything. And here we go. If I remember correctly, this one was the spend 20,000, which I ended up not getting. Right here I'm just sitting and waiting for my medic ability to come back. But yeah, this challenge, not really. This isn't really possible on a 2-minute hive in solo. Like, you just can't make enough money fast enough. You might be able to do it on like a 3-minute hive, and you could definitely do this on like the final hive of Point of Contact because it's 5 minutes in solo. But yeah, if you didn't have like the other characters dog tags really close to you to where you could just like pick them up and then have them like drop you money or just like throw boxes of armor or something, this challenge isn't really gonna work that well on solo. Look at that Phantom just tanking those venom shots. Oh, here comes the rhino. I tried to hit him with the sticky flare, and I don't think I got him with it. I think I just put the sticky flare on the ground. Yeah, see, after 2 minutes, I've been spending like all the money I have, and I was only able to get it up to like 12,000. So that challenge wouldn't have really worked too well. I think the sticky flare just finished off the rhino. I saw 1,000 pop up. No, okay, finished off like a phantom. The sticky flare explosions are just ridiculously powerful. Like I'm pretty sure they're the single most powerful like thing, like one hit marker in the entire game. If you have they get the weapon specialist, or they get the engineered +4 explosive damage buff. So if you put 2 like sticky flares on a mammoth as a +4 engineer, it'll just kill the fucking mammoth in solo. It's pretty wild. One thing I feel like I should point out is that I didn't make any venom grenades this game. The only thing I crafted was the one Venom X schematic, and then just a shit ton of sticky flares. Oh, So for this leopard challenge, I actually messed this one up. So I decided to save my weapon specialist ability for like when the rhino comes out, and so I was just gonna try to see if I could get this leopard challenge just done without it, and I end up missing it. What I probably should have done is popped the weapon specialist like right as it started, so I could find out where this guy was. I think I saw him there, but it's actually just a scout. He's probably just off in some like little cave somewhere. I think I saw him up top, but couldn't get him. I probably should have just popped the weapon specialist right at the start of that, and then it likely would have been recharged thanks to that like the armory upgrade that makes him charge in 1.5 minutes instead of 3 minutes. It probably would have been up in time for the rhino anyways, so I should have used the weapon specialist to find him there. And because I didn't, I'm stuck with the slow reload for one more hive. And once I do get the weapon specialist +3 and I have the speed reload, I'll switch over to a chainsaw with rapid fire on it for a little more DPS, because at that point reloading's not really going to be too much of a problem. Yeah, and here comes the rhino, and that ability would have been recharged anyway, so I could have just used it for the leper. Oopsie whoopsie. Rhino and a phantom, probably a gargoyle too, just like stuck in the ceiling somewhere, you know, awakening. Yeah, there he is. That could have been bad. Rhino kind of like pushed me up into the wall and didn't have any armor or anything. It's a good thing about having all the enemies to kill after the hive is you always have a lot of money going into the next one, so that's neat. And then I think I wait for my weapon specialist to recharge before this hive again. Nah, fuck it, we're just raw dogging it, never mind. So this challenge here, pretty easy challenge, because this challenge is when I'm jumping and not when the enemies are jumping, so it's pretty easy to finish off, especially with some good Venom X usage. Yep, and then once I get this challenge, I'll have the class +3, which is just a huge upgrade. I'm landing like just barely before these enemies die. There we go. Cop it real fast. And I'm not gonna try to get the chainsaw set up mid-hive, so I'll just finish this one out with the K7. And I go for the drill repair, but of course I get interrupted by the I think that was a rhino behind me. No, it wasn't. I was just getting wrecked by little guys. God, it sucks not being able to hear. That phantom choking on the venom gas. You can see the riot shield coming in clutch for the repair there, as I was able to just turn around and let the phantom hit the riot shield instead of me. Saved me a lot of damage. I think that's the gargoyle down. I think I'd weakened him before, so gave him 3 venom shots. Ooh. It's kind of gnarly. There's a shit ton of enemies on the drill right now, so I have to watch out for that. But all of them just went past the drill instead. That's low health. Kind of surprised I didn't pop the medic upgrade there, to be honest, but I made it through, so.
Some spare hardware lying around.
Gonna clear all these guys out, and then I'm still not gonna go for the chainsaw just yet. I'm gonna open up the third area, because right now I don't have a rapid fire anywhere on the map. So I figured I'll just I'll finish this off, open up the third area, search more boxes, and then look for it that way. And if I remember correctly, I think I managed to complete this Vanguard sequence with one quadcopter, which like never happens, which is pretty wild because normally I go through like 2 or 3 of these things. So for these sequences, it displays the controls at the bottom of the screen there, right? Descend L1, fire L2, launch missile R2, ascend R1. So I like to play a different kind of grip on the controller because all of the inputs are just on the triggers. So what you do is you put index and middle fingers on the triggers. You've got 4 fingers on there, and you can do all of the inputs at the same time. I like to just move back and forth to dodge scorpions, and I don't know how these little guys are just jumping up into the air like that. Try to hit me, and they did hit me. Very nice. But yeah, I just put some of the big rockets in there and take a few of them out. This area is a little easier to take the quadcopter through without it getting destroyed because there's no bombers, and bombers in solo are, I mean, you really can't dodge them. The only way you can get past a bomber is if you if it starts its like suicide bomb attack thing where it like starts barreling toward you, and then like get behind a piece of cover so that it hits the cover instead of you. But I mean, the bombers can freely like just navigate around the map and orient themselves in a place where they'll just hit you directly, so it's kind of hard to dodge. But I managed to break all 5 of the obelisks in one go, which is pretty sick. And I just clean these fools up. Yeah, I think that's it. So at this point, I look for some trophy systems in the third area. I managed to put 3 of them down, and then this is me. I found a locker key, so I'm gonna open up this side area and see if I can find a chainsaw in here, or not even a chainsaw. I just need a rapid fire. This rhino comes out absolutely swinging and takes all of my armor off, but it's okay. So I'm looking for a rapid fire, and I don't get it. I found another locker key at one point, took it in there, didn't get the rapid fire. Found another locker key, didn't get the rapid fire. Found another locker key, got the rapid fire. We're set. And so now I go and pick up a chainsaw. And of course now I'm broke, so I gotta kill some mammoths and rhinos and stuff to get my money back up before I start the third area. Yep. Swapping through everything, trying to find the venom. Here comes another one. Just give him the same treatment, just 4 venom grenades, and then that should finish the phantom off. That one got kind of close, but I had medic upgrade in case he got any closer than that. Going for one more of them in the third area this time. And again, the Rhino just tanked a bunch of shots, but it should go down right about here. Alright, and then we are good to go at this point in the third area. I've got 3 trophy systems set up on the Obelisk. I feel like this is what is like the hardest Obelisk location in the whole game, because it's surrounded on all sides by like scorpion platforms, and so that's why I put all those trophies there. I was hoping that the chainsaw was one of the marked weapons, but it wasn't, and I didn't really care enough to swap weapons, so I just stick with the chainsaw and take the L on this challenge. Ghost Hunter's just eating through all my armor there. Sheesh. I think I hit that venom shot. Yeah, it's a nice venom shot. Too bad that it takes 3 more, or 2 more of those to kill a gargoyle. These guys are taking that drill down fast. I think I go in there for a repair. Yeah, you can see how the physical location of this obelisk makes it a little harder to defend. It's in the bottom of this little pit, and just everything can hit it. And there goes the sticky flare, and then I'm gonna spam a bunch of venoms to clear things out and go for the repair. Look at the sticky flare's on the trophy, so it's spinning around and shit. Ooh, that was a 1 HP moment right there, but yeah. That's why it's a good idea to hit the medic upgrade whenever your health goes red. Because, you know, sometimes you'll just like you'll keep taking damage after it's red, so you want to be regenning health, you know. All them gargoyles. All 3 of the trophies are still up, but since I have sticky flares in my inventory, I can't really do anything about them, and I can't move them, which sucks, but... Alright, here we go. Second to last hive. This challenge is a little weird with this hive location. If we got this in the previous hive, it'd be really easy. But here it's a little bit tricky. But totally doable, so I'm able to cop another skill point on this one. I think I end up putting it into ammo. Maybe armor, I don't remember. Yeah, if I stand over here about where this arc is and then shoot up toward the drill, that'll count for the challenge. So that's what I'm trying to do, but getting kind of blocked by having a bunch of enemies there. one up on that hunter while he was jumping through the air. I think I'm about to get it right there. Yep. That rhino came out of nowhere. So yeah, I popped both upgrades so that I can just tank the rhino, and then I'm looking for that venom on the ground. I couldn't find it. There it is. That clutch shot onto the drill. Yeah, I put it into ammo because I was running low on the ammo and it's costing a lot of money. So spec another point into it. It means I'm able to throw more armor. So I feel like that kind of lets me get more armor than I would by directly upgrading the armor, which is a little weird, but it works out. And then after I clear all these enemies out and wait for my abilities to recharge, it'll be the last obelisk. And I almost got the challenge, even though it was a really hard one. But I got memed by the bad jumping mechanics in this game. So it's marked aliens, and there's 1, there's 2, and then there's a whole fucking bunch of them right there. So just spray and pray. Get it all the way up to 7. Scout and the hunter, make it 9, and the last thing is the scorpion here, and of course I'm out of ammo. I should have, at that point, I should have just Venom X'd him. That would have got it, but I didn't. And he comes up here, and I'm trying to jump, and I can't make it up, and I think something like fucking hits my riot shield and dies to the fire, which is just fantastic. So yeah, that's a massive L, but it's fine. We weren't exactly on a completionist. And I need to repair the drill already. Ooh, that's kind of sketch. Am I actually gonna get that? Yeah, okay, I popped the medic upgrade. Gargoyle took out my riot shield while I was trying to repair that one. That's why that got so hairy. I love how this hive's like drill progress bar. It's got like all of the gargoyles marked on it, so it's just covered in little dots. And of course, I think this hive ends with like 3 gargoyles still being alive or some shit like that. It's great. Rhino's up, and of course he does the same shit where he like. I think he initiated his charge on a little a piece of like sloped ground, so he was able to like fly through the air at me, and I pop a sticky flare because both of my abilities are out. Watch this shit! I almost die right here. Tell like gargoyle's shooting me. And the gargoyle manages to like thread the needle with some shots all the way into here and take me down to almost red bar. And I'm out of money, but I'm about to get it all back real soon. Yeah, I think there's three gargoyles alive at this point. And I think the rhino also like managed to die somehow. There's 1. And there's 2. Okay, and then, yeah, I cut the rest of that out, because that was like literally 30 minutes of me crafting sticky flares that I just cut out into the arc sequence here. So, I have 4 sets of sticky flares on the ground, and that's enough to last for the entire arc sequence, assuming that a terminals don't get destroyed. The way I've decided to approach the terminals in this, or the arc sequence here in Sigma Hardcore, is basically if a terminal goes down at any point and I don't have a sticky flare up, it's game over, because the enemies take the terminals down so fast that while I would be repairing one of the terminals, all of the other ones would just get destroyed, and then I would be stuck here until a certain amount of time passes and the ancestors just insta-kill you and end the game. So yeah, I decided the only way I'm going to make it through this is if I come in with enough sticky flares to have one down for the entire sequence. So, and even that's not actually enough, because just in like the handful of times that an enemy is able to sneak by the flare and just do a little bit of like petty damage onto the terminals, it knocks it out. Like 2 terminals end up going down with the sticky flares out. And thankfully, I didn't go into this with 8 flares. I managed to go into it with 9, and so I was able to have enough flares up to make it through that, because whenever a terminal goes down, it stops the timer on the left. So if a terminal's dead, this whole sequence takes longer, and it throws the 8 flares thing off. And of course, I'm doing the classic strategy of save the cortex pulls, like the pulse that kills everything. Save those for the 25, 50, and 75% markers up the progress bar, so that you can use them to insta-kill the rhinos and the phantoms and stuff. Here comes another one. Yeah, of course I can't. Right now, when I'm like, you know, recording this post commentary, I can't hear the audio cues because I'm in Share Factory. But you should be able to hear them in the video. It'll be like Samantha Cross hopping on. It's like, you're almost there, hold your ground, or something like that, and then the arc plays like a sound. That's how you know you want to like pull the cortex at that moment. I think the scout manages to it's just like scouts like that manage to knock the terminals down when they're just like not looking at the flare for some reason. Yeah, that terminal goes down right there, so I preemptively throw a flare. I could have waited a little longer to throw that flare, but it goes out anyways. Just wanted to make sure that nothing can hit the terminals while I'm repairing it. Here comes the cortex pull. Take out some big boys with that. I remember when I was playing this, I couldn't hear the sticky flares like getting ready to blow up because of the zapping of the ancestors. Yeah, and here's the second terminal that got taken down. I'm really trying to make sure that none of the bottom terminals go down. And at this point, there's not any more of the big guys, so I just pop the cortex to kill everything. I'm trying to make sure that none of those basement terminals go down, because that could be... they're a lot harder to get to and get back smoothly. So I really don't want to deal with that. We're just about done with this. Yep. Arc sequence went not really smoothly, but it went. And then now I'm all out of flares, but I managed to get flares located next to 2 of the doors here. So the first door, I've got a sticky flare that I'm saving up to put directly on the rhino, and of course the rhino like spawns in all the way across the map. I have no idea where he is, so I end up not using a flare for this first door, even though I probably should have. There's the sticky flare on the ground right here. for this sequence, every kill is worth the same, so if you can, your best bet is trying to focus on just killing little guys like bombers and stuff, which is why I like to put a sticky flare on the Rhino, but I don't even know where the Rhino was, so it didn't end up mattering. Popped the medic ability there just to make sure. Probably didn't need to, but you know, better safe than dying in the last like 3 minutes of the run. So here I'm expecting the Rhino to come out right next to me, like he always does, but he doesn't, probably because the 3 dead guys back at spawn are like messing it up. Here he is. So I think I stick in with the sticky flare, but he just keeps walking for some reason. I don't think he attacks me though. And there's another flare that I had found on the ground and like took note of. Yeah, see the Rhino, he had the sticky flare on him, but he didn't stop moving. Sometimes he does that, but he also wasn't attacking me, so I wasn't too worried about him. So here comes the last one. There's actually another flare in this area, but I ended up not grabbing it. I like to throw the flare into the electric trap and turn it on. It usually gets like 1 or 2 kills, if I'm being honest, but it's a cool thought. Trying to get as many of those bombers as I can so that it fills it up faster. But yeah, that with this Cortex pull, I put the medic up, even though I don't need it, just to be safe. And then that will finish out the run. Thanks for watching.